wonderful Canadian welcome. I am not Canadian, so I assume that's what it was. How are you
guys,
boys?
what's up?
This is so lovely. Thank you so much for coming and doing this with us.
Of course. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah.
How's the con been so far?
I didn't know where we were. We're at the con. Okay, yeah.
Welcome.
It's been good.
Yeah. Good. It's been good though?
It's been great, yeah.
Amazing.
This is I came to here in 2016, I think, and it was like my first ever one. So it's like it's cool to be back, you know.
Has there been a big difference between your first time experience and this now?
I just feel much older. So,
Yeah. Well, I will say, I mean, I don't know if you've had to hustle back and forth, but there's two buildings that you have to go north to south if you want to go back and forth. It's a lot of fitness, so.
Get your steps in, huh?
Get your steps in,
Yeah.
is what I'm telling you. Yeah. So, tell me, since you do get to come to these lovely things and see these lovely fans, what has sort of been your most, if just memorable moment, or something that you were like, that made me very filled with joy, like at these cons? Anything in particular?
At these cons?
Yeah.
Well, just in general, really, like anytime we get to meet you guys, we just hear these things that just, I mean, I'll speak for myself, but I'm just astounded at your dedication and commitment to what Charlie and I are doing, and it's like, you know, just to say back to you all, like your support is what inspires us to do good jobs. So, you know, we bring it for you. So I love to be able to talk to you and converse with you, and kind of, it's just great.
It is. It's fun. Yeah. How about you, Charlie?
Yes, I mean, same sentiment, really. Like most of the time, you know, you hear nice things about yourself from the people who would say it anyway, like a mom.
Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah. They're always encouraging, but you're like,
yeah, right. You're like, yeah, you have to say that. I don't doubt that you believe it, but it does no basis in any facts whatsoever. So, but when you hear it from you know, people who don't know you, who have never met, and you know, they describe in detail why or how something has touched them and stuff, that's really meaningful. You
absolutely,
know?
Yeah.
So it's a tremendous experience every time.
I think it's also special because the amount of time that these amazing fans wait in line to be able to have that moment with you is, I know I've waited in those lines, and now just getting to hear and have conversations is, so we want to thank you. I mean, it's like amazing. And so like the aspect of waiting in these lines, is there anyone in the, like, I guess either con universe or universe that you would wait in that long of a line to talk to?
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh, great.
He's on that list, you know.
Turn to your right.
That doesn't surprise me. I have to say, I'd wait for Charlie.
Aww.
I think both Charlie and I would wait for John Bernthal.
Yeah. If we sit here long enough, he'll come out. So that's, yeah.
That's right, yeah.
I do love the idea of each of you waiting in each other's lines, and then when you get to the front, you realize the other one's been in your line, and neither of you were there. That would be a lovely story. So, and obviously, I think we have folks out here in so much cosplay. Have you yourself ever thought, what would I come to a Comic-Con or a Fan Expo dressed as?
So I've been actually thinking about that a lot recently, because I think I might take my daughter to one this year for the first time. Yeah. So I'm thinking about, you know, we've got to dress up.
Yes.
So,
as a duo, or like, do you know what I mean? Like you could partner up with the idea, or?
Well, she's 6, but I don't want to bring her street cred down too much by dressing up, you know, with her. Like, I have to figure that out.
Yeah. How about you, Vincent? What
would I come as?
Yeah, like Mary Poppins, or yeah.
I don't know how you knew that, but that's weird.
I did so much research for this.
It's like, it's crazy that you knew that.
I think I'd like to do Bluey.
Ooh.
Oh,
That would, your daughter would probably lose her mind then, right? Yeah. Oh my God, the Bluey like phase of that. Why is Bluey here today? Is anyone dressed as Bluey?
I haven't seen one.
Okay.
I haven't seen a Bluey.
Well, work it out, folks, okay? Get it together. So, I have the pleasure of talking to you all in Philadelphia too, but I'm just excited to sort of talk more about how both of you, and share with the fans, how both of you decided acting. I'm going to do that.
Go ahead, Charlie.
So, when I was at school, at my in England we do call it the same thing, but like pre-high school.
Sure.
Like I guess middle school.
Middle
Can I translate?
Yeah, you
please?
translate. Yeah.
So while he was at school,
Wait, when my wife and I first got together, I said to her, put your boots in put your wellies in the boot. Can you translate that? Put your wellies in the boot.
put your boots in the trunk.
Yeah.
Put the
that part of the story?
no, it's not. put the dummy in the pram.
Dummy in the pram? I hope everybody's not baby in the stroller.
Stroller's right.
Stroller's right. The dummy the dummy is the pacifier.
I just invented an amazing game.
You did.
Let's just play this.
Yes. Is Vincent fluent in British? But let's back to middle school.
go.
Yeah, middle school.
You know, one time I have to say, can I interject for it? So one time, Charlie and I, we were doing many interviews for Daredevil on live interviews with video cameras and stuff. And we did this one. We were getting so bored with it that we did this one where each, without telling the person that was interviewing us, our answers would have to include a fish. So we would like either change we would either alter, we would put the name of a different kind of fish in a sentence, but it had to sort of sound like a word that we may be mispronouncing.
So, I remember a couple of them.
Tell.
So one of them, I said, well, the show is very violent, and thank God, because. But the one that got me, like crying, and the guy it was in a foreign country, so they weren't all fluent in English, so they probably weren't hearing it.
Yeah.
Vincent said, well, when I first read the script, I spoke to my friend Sebastian.
I would have died as well.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of the movie Super Troopers, where they try and say like meow as many times as possible. Maybe that could be your next game for each other. Like, well, write meow and just do that. Yeah.
Pretty good at meow.
That could be.
Yeah. That's a really good one, Charlie. Don't you think? Meow would be really.
Yeah. What's the question?
I don't know. I don't think it matters at this point. I think it was more about acting and things like that on a serious nature.
Oh yeah, I mean, the first when I was at like the equivalent, I guess, of middle school, they did some theatre, but they only did musicals because the parents love.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't sing at all, and so I literally couldn't get involved. And one of the first plays they did, one of the musicals they did, I couldn't get a part because I couldn't sing. So they put me in the chorus. Your only job is to sing, but they told me not to sing. So my job was to be in the background and mime, and I felt like such a useless element of that production. So then when I went to my high school, they did a serious play, they did some Shakespeare, and I went and auditioned and, kind of fell in love with it, and that's kind of where it started.
It's so funny, the singing thing. I too cannot sing, but they put me in a play in college that literally in the script it said has the worst voice in town. I said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Did you get a musical background as well? Mary Poppins.
You can sing though.
I can kind of.
Yeah, I've heard him sing.
Oh, that's lovely.
When we take showers together, he's singing.
Wonderful. You just created an entire fan fiction series of you taking a shower singing musicals.
Yeah, Charlie rocks me. I don't know what else to say. Oh, acting. So I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I knew that I would be comfortable on a stage because I got into magic when I was a kid. And so I got pretty good at magic. I was doing like parties and all kinds of stuff with, there was a Cuban couple that came over from Cuba. A lot of Cubans went to Miami at the time. I was living in Florida. And in our small town of Hialeah, this couple opened up a magic. They were actually entertainers, the two of them, and they were really successful in Cuba. But when they came over, they had a tough time, so they opened up a magic shop near the Winn-Dixie grocery store near our house. And I was coming back from, I had a little job at a diner that my mom worked at as a waitress. I did wash dishes there, and I was very young, and I was riding my Stingray bicycle back home, and with a banana seat and
Did you have a bell?
extended forks.
Did you have a
I just
bell?
want to say. And this couple were moving into this magic shop, and I thought, oh, what are they moving? Like, this is so weird. And because I saw like flowers coming out of boxes and stuff, and it didn't look like a florist. It looked like something else. And I asked them, and the guy said, they were very sweet. And he said, well, we're magicians. We came from Cuba, and we're opening a store. And I'm like, I was so fascinated with it. And I asked them if they needed help moving into their shop. And so they said, sure. And so they let me help them. And it was getting kind of late, because I was supposed to be home. So I rode my bike home, asked my mom if I could finish helping them. She took me back in the car to meet them. And then I finished helping them, worked all night there helping them move into their store. And we didn't have any money, we were very poor. And instead of letting me instead of having to buy magic tricks, he would give me instructions, and I would go home and I would build them myself. And I started doing these shows, and he also gave me these books. And one of the books, this will be very quickly, just give me about a half hour. And one of the books was about Houdini, and in it they had instructions for some of the escape things that he did and how to do them. And I had my neighbors help me, these two men. One ran a welding company, the other ran a sailboat company. And they helped me build a mail bag, and I learned how to get out of handcuffs. And my mother at the diner used to serve cops, so I asked the cops to come, and I invited Live at 5 over, and we had a little small kidney-shaped swimming pool. And the police put me in the bag and chained me, put handcuffs on me, put me in the bag, chained me up, and my mom pushed me in the pool. It's a true story. And I drowned and died.
I'm so glad you came back as a ghost.
I actually lived. I know you can't tell, but I lived. And I started working all the time, and I made myself a little business card that said, I don't even think it made sense. It said, impossible possibilities. And my stage name was Vincent.
So original.
I don't think I've ever told this story out loud. So I started doing magic shows, and I got invited to do conventions, and I got invited to a Ring of Magicians, which was like a union of magicians. And I met Blackstone Jr., and he taught me a card trick, and so I knew that I was comfortable on a stage. And my daughter studied acting all through high school and stuff. And she said, I'm going to go to New York and study acting, back where we all originally came from. Not mankind, I mean just my sister and I.
That's where we started.
Yeah, because a lot of people think it's Africa, and it's not. It's New York where
New York.
they came from.
It's actually the Bronx, yeah.
But the truth is, it is Africa, and actually not New York. And so, and so I followed her to New York, and we started studying at this school called the American Stanislavski Theater, and we ended up touring for several years across the country doing classics. And then I ended up I started studying method acting. I got on Broadway. I ended up in my first film, Full Metal Jacket, when I was 24.
Yeah. Amazing. I love hearing the origin story of like how someone has just chosen this path, because it's a difficult path, obviously. So along your path of acting, have you had like the worst audition, and would you like to share with us what possibly the worst audition experience you've ever had was? I've had my fair share.
I had a really bad one, and it's my own fault. I went to an audition for Jim Jarmusch, who was at the, I don't know if you guys know who that is, but in the 90s he was making some groundbreaking independent films, maybe the first independent films, I'm not sure, but like truly independent films. And you know, I knew I had a big audition the next day, but instead I stayed up all night.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Oh, you were there.
I was there.
Oh my God. I totally forgot.
I was the one behind the desk.
Well, you know, it's partly your fault. So, I literally kind of nodded out during the audition.
Oh,
Yeah, and I can't remember leaving. I obviously left the job, but I can't.
You booked it, right? You booked it.
I did not book it. I did not book it. But then I met him later on, like a couple of years later, and we started sort of like hanging out as friends, but he never gave me a job.
No. I wouldn't either. How about you, Charlie?
I pulled an all-nighter before my first Stardust audition. Yeah, and not intentionally.
Yeah.
And I'd actually I'd already cancelled the first one because and it was right before Christmas. And it was like the last day before everyone broke up for Christmas. This audition, and I went out with some friends, and we ended up back at my place, and then people just fell asleep late.
Oh.
And so I woke up. I didn't set an alarm, but I woke up and there were people sleeping on the couch and on the floor, and I just wanted to get out. And I remember thinking, I think I had an audition today. And so because I wanted to get out of the house because there were people asleep on the floor, so I went to audition.
Oh, good.
It went really well.
Booked it. See, Vincent, that's how you prepare. Okay? We're learning lessons up here is what we're doing. So, besides acting and things like that, do you ever see yourself I wonder, I could have been a doctor. Or you could have been if you were little Charlie, little Vincent was besides acting, I want to be an astronaut. Was there anything else that you were that would be cool too? If you weren't acting?
Yeah, I mean, similar. My goals were much lower than obviously yours, but mine were more maybe I could just mow lawns for a living. I could do that. Those things that I knew that I could definitely do, but none of them were astronauts or lawyers or doctors. I'm pretty sure I'm the luckiest guy in the world to have been successful in acting, and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Very grateful.
Fantastic. Yeah. So maybe when you retire from acting, you could start a landscaping business.
Yeah.
Call
That's a good idea.
Mary Poppins and Lawn Care. Charlie, I'm workshopping that bit, sorry. What do you think if you could be anything else in the world besides?
I honestly don't know. I mean, the thing I always think I would love to do is be a travel writer. I don't know if I could do it or not, but I love traveling, and I kind of secretly harbor an idea that if writing about places and I've been to or experienced, I might have enough passion there that I could do it to some degree. So I've always liked that idea, and I've always loved the idea of being kind of on the road and don't know where I'm going next kind of thing. And
have you ever done something like that where it's just
many
backpack?
times?
Yeah.
Many times. And so, I used to have a deal with myself, which was that after every job, as an actor, there's never a good time to go away.
Sure.
Because if you have a job, you're preparing for it, and you're thinking about it and obsessed with it, and you're I want to go now because I'm, and if you don't have a job, you got to wait for the phone to ring and get an audition. There's never a good time. So I made a deal with myself that after every job, I would find at least a couple of weeks to go somewhere I'd never been. And until I had children, I really committed to that. I did it every time, and as a result, I've had some amazing experiences and traveled, almost all over the world.
Is it often you go by yourself in those moments, or do you go with others?
Almost always, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was kind of part of it, I think.
It
just forces you into a place where you have to experience the culture in a way. You can't rely on your buddy to just live how you live in your own city.
Yeah.
With your friend, you have to reach out. You have to make friends. You purposely choose places like hostels where you're going to meet people who similarly want to hang out and do things. And I've made amazing friends and had extraordinary experiences.
I think it's awesome to be able to do things by yourself. I think sometimes we forget, like, because we're so connected on digital things, so connected, like, always around each other. I flew here by myself. I haven't flown a plane by myself in like maybe 10 years. And I was like, I'm 41 years old and I felt so proud of myself. You know what I mean? But I was like, I did it. No one really actually trains you to do some of those things.
Yeah.
Like, you just figure it out. And I think then probably when you came back, you were probably so much more yourself for the next project too.
I think so. I think it's like it's a fast track kind of, dive into who you are and how you tip and all those things.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
being forced to feel slightly uncomfortable can be a great growing opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So I asked other folks this that I was talking to some of our lovely guests this weekend. So I'm creating a Spotify playlist, okay, of like my good friends. You're now my good friends, by the way, of their favorite songs. So that way I have this playlist of like just what song do you, if you're like I'm in a bad mood or I need to be pumped up, like what is the song that you would either travel with or mow lawns to? Do you have a favorite? It doesn't have to be like your favorite, because here's the thing, I don't want this to be a stressful question. I can tell you, do you want to know mine?
Yeah.
It's Dreams by the Cranberries.
Cool.
That's like, the Cranberries saved my life, I swear to God. That band was amazing. So it doesn't have to be like a popular thing, but just something that you're like, oh, I put that on often.
The temptation to avoid the cliche and say something no one's ever heard of, but I think arguably one of the greatest songs ever written is Van Morrison's Sweet Thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'll add that to my list. Thank you. Thank you. Vincent, do you have a favorite jam? Or just a song?
I do.
Spoonful of Sugar.
Spoonful of Sugar? We almost heard it.
I was actually gonna say Spoonful of Sugar, so I was like, wow. Mary Poppins would never say fuck, so I'm sorry about that. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Never say it backwards.
Can you say it backwards?
Can you say it backwards?
No, can you?
Why are you challenging? What a gauntlet. Like, come on. We're not playing that game. Challenge, Vincent.
You just felt like hearing me say it backwards.
Well, I'll circle back to you. I don't want you to your brain
it's too
explode.
stressful.
It is.
It's too stressful.
No,
there's
it's
so many
funny.
songs. Anyway, I don't think I have a favorite song these days. I just listen to, ever since Spotify, I just listen to so much more music than I ever did. I always listen to music, but it's like there's constant music playing in my house now, and so it's like I have yesterday the last playlist I listened to before I came here was on Spotify was Marvin Gaye's playlist, and that's just you forget all the great stuff that Marvin Gaye did. Like it's incredible,
I think that's the awesome thing about music is that I can't just be in a space with nothing. I need that to be filled. So music is the perfect thing for that. Thank you for adding 2 lovely songs. Well, I'll add in Marvin Gaye's entire repertoire to my playlist. So thank you.
And one Van Morrison
One
song.
Van Morrison song. Along those lines, do you all have a movie that's your comfort movie or a show that you binge often? I've watched Schitt's Creek more times than I can count.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And it can't be something you've been in because that's awkward.
I have a handful of movies that for whatever reason for me are the ultimate rewatchables. Like
Yeah.
there doesn't seem to be a limit to how often I can watch them. And there's great films that I love that I won't watch many, many times. But there's a handful of films that I just like, if they're on, I can't not
Right.
finish it.
Yes.
You know
Even
what I
if
mean?
like you can watch it without commercials.
Yeah.
Somewhere else, you just leave it on the TV.
Yeah. So, like a recent one that I found that to be the case is Moneyball. I can just watch that.
Oh, nice.
I just think it's such a tremendous movie.
Yeah.
Shawshank Redemption, obviously. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
can't turn it off.
Toy Story, Hook. I don't want to wish my children's childhood away, but I cannot wait to watch Hook with them. And they're too young still, and I'm like,
Yeah.
grow up so we can watch Hook together.
Hurry up! How about you, Vincent? Anything?
2.
All right.
They're not as sophisticated as Charlie's list. It's the first John Wick movie, and Paddington 2.
Did you see that film, the Nicolas Cage? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you see that when he brings it up, Paddington 2?
Plays himself?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
You haven't seen it?
No, is
it's
it great?
so fun. Well, there's a reference to Paddington 2 in there, which is
Well, it's a perfect.
amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I spat my drink out when that happened.
Yes.
I think I'm alone in thinking it's like a perfect film. Yeah.
It is. It's still as sophisticated as Hook, so don't worry. Yeah. Can we play a game, boys? Is that all right? This is called This or That. I have played this a few times now, and I still have not written a theme song.
This.
So I'm just going to ask you a few things, and you're just going to say,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's this or that.
"Thank you." I'm going to use that
came off the
sound
top
bite
of my
now.
head.
Perfect. All right, you don't have to think too hard about these, all right?
Ugh.
So the first one is a vacation or a staycation. I'm going to define staycation just to fill time. It's where you don't go anywhere and you just stay home and enjoy yourself.
And what's a vacation?
That is... I don't think we have time for that today.
Vacation, I think.
Yeah, lovely.
I like going away.
Definitely.
Definitely vacation? Lovely. How about, would you rather a novel or a comic book?
Oh wow, that's a good question. I think a comic book.
Great. They would have turned on you so quickly.
I felt the pressure to. No, I haven't read a novel in a long time. I've read books. Obviously I read books, and I like to write a lot. But, for comfort, I like short stories and comic books
Yeah.
and graphic novels and stuff like that.
Great. Do you have a preference?
Yeah, same.
Same. How about, zombies or vampires? I don't know. Because these have
Well,
nasty-
vampires are sexier.
Yeah. So
Zombies are
vampires.
like, all right, leave me alone. Like nobody wants a zombie. Like nobody wants a zombie. Like
I love this rating system.
it's like this. Hello, it's a zombie. Go away. But if it's like, hello, who is it? It's a vampire. You think for a second.
Yeah.
Have you played either?
But it's kind of Men in Black was not a zombie. Yeah. I think the character in Men in Black was basically the root of all zombie performances. I do think that.
George R. Romero was like, you know what? I've seen Men in Black. I have ideas.
I've played a vampire.
Yeah?
You have.
Yeah.
I bet you no one in here can tell me what the name of that film is.
Eat
What?
people.
No, close though.
Over here?
Close.
In there?
You said eat people. You said local eats. Go. Well done.
Yay!
Eat locals.
Oh, wow.
That's
Eat
fun.
locals.
Did you enjoy playing a vampire?
So it was directed by one of my dear friends who I love, Jason Fleming, who you guys probably know. And and it was really fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Eat locals. Yeah.
If Vampire Charlie knocked on your door, you'd let him in?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And this might be controversial, this question, because we are in Canada, and I can poll the audience before you answer if you want to feel comfortable. But do you prefer ketchup chips or all dressed chips?
What's all dressed chips?
It's Charlie, I'm gonna let you know that they're disgusting.
Is this a Canadian thing?
Yes. Yes.
All dressed.
All dressed.
Wait a minute, you know we're not Canadian, right? Like that.
Oh, we have either. Thank you so much. Yeah. Little taste test.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Oh, this is so exciting.
This is like the Pepsi challenge.
I feel like one of the Hyam sisters when I do stuff like this.
Yeah.
They do these cute little things all the time.
All right. I'll give you a moment. This is your tasting chip.
Tremendous.
Oh yeah. Give it like a swish. Swish around.
These ketchup ones just look wrong.
You will have messy hands after eating both. That's for sure. Ooh. What'd you think of the ketchup, Vincent? Did you like it?
I'm gonna keep my remarks to myself.
No, that's fair. It's one way to do it. Oh. Yeah! That's two for all dressed chips! Oh my goodness. Well, thank you both so much for A, eating food, and B, choosing the correct answer, and just C, for being here. So thank you so much. Give them a big round of applause! Charlie and Vincent, thank you.